Today's tutorial is on an iPhone 6s Plus screen replacement. Let's get started. First up, take the bottom screws out using a pentalobe screwdriver. Now the next step is to lift the screen. There is adhesive on the actual screen, so I slowly move around with a pry tool. And it just loosens the adhesive, so then you can flip it up. And as you see, it just flips up from the bottom, from the home button side, very easily. Now use the screw chart that I've got in the description below so you don't get all the screws confused, and just remove the screws holding the top plate down with a Phillips head screwdriver. And the plate easily lifts off. Now we just disconnect like Lego. The actual cables, they just easily pry up. You can use even a fingernail. Now to the screen, we need to take some parts off. First up is the ear speaker and selfie assembly. You remove with a Phillips head screwdriver the 3 screws. And then easily the plate comes off. And you fold back the selfie camera, and that's the ear speaker. So you pull that out. And now what we need to do is just take the actual selfie camera flex assembly off. And we just use something, flat like a pry tool to lift it off. Next step is take off that bracket. And now there's 6 screws on the side. We take off each screw using a Phillips head screwdriver. Very easy. And just the remaining 3 screws. This will loosen the back plate so we can eventually remove it. Just place them on your screw chart accordingly. Now there's a top screw with a Phillips head screwdriver for the top part of the plate. Now to the bottom part that holds the actual home button, you'll see there's 2 Phillips head screws securing that plate down. Simply take the Phillips head screws off. It was very tricky to take this off as I was trying to avoid getting in the way of the camera. And the plate easily comes up. Nothing sticks it down. And now we just have to flip the actual flex that connects to the home button, and it just flips up. Real easy. Now with this part, be very careful. You don't want to damage the home button, and you just slide something very thin like a pry tool underneath, and it lifts the adhesive, so then the button can be pushed through, taken off. Now we take that plate off and we go to the new screen. So this is a new screen. We put the plate back on, and essentially we're doing everything in reverse. Now the order doesn't matter, but the most important thing is to put that plate on first. So you can even start at the top or go to the home button, but I'll start at the top with the actual ear speaker and selfie camera assembly. And I'll just click everything in there. This looks tricky, but actually everything falls in place quite easily. And we close that, and now we just need to put the actual top bracket on and secure it down with the 3 screws. The great thing is now is that if you use the actual screw mat that I provided, you'll know which is the correct screw. Now we just need to secure that top screw that was holding the bracket down, and the 3 screws on each side using a Phillips head. Now for the home button, we place the home button in, we fold the flex cable over so it clicks in, and we put the top plate back on, securing it with 2 screws. And the final screw. Now that is pretty much done for the assembly. So now all we need to do is reconnect it. Once it's reconnected, I like to test it. So once the cables are in, I usually just turn it on and give it a bit of a test to make sure the touchscreen works correctly. As you can see, everything's working fine. So now I'll proceed on putting the top plate on. And these are just the 5 screws. This is very important that you don't mix these screws up, because if you do, you could damage the actual board. And you just clip everything in place. As you can see, I'm going around the edges so I don't put pressure on the center and break the screen. Finally, the pentalobe screwdrivers, the screws. And thanks for watching, guys. Please like this video and subscribe, so when you do fix it, you'll be able to find it in your YouTube account, and you can follow these instructions. Any questions, drop a comment below. Once again, thank you for watching again,